We're earning our wings today on how E&C came to be. We are at the Seymore Johnson Airforce Base in Goldsboro to learn about their history and their fighter squadrons. We're here with Randy Bergeron, the wing historian at the Seymore Johnson Airforce Base. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about the history of the Seymore Johnson Airforce Base.
Well, I think it's great that you're here during the month of December because that's the month in 1903, the first flight at Kitty Hawk. And so here, 120 years later, you get the great comparison of 1903, where we were at in aviation, to today. Comparing, then to today, it's a great comparison here because the 4th Fighter Wing here at Seymore has a great heritage. We have a heritage of being known for our bravery, a heritage of being known for our resourcefulness. In other words, always looking to apply the latest in technology.
And tell us a little bit about the fighter squadrons because they have had a massive impact on our battles, our wars, and our history.
Right. We can trace our lineage, our history back to World War II. There's 4 fighter squadrons here at Seymore, the 333rd, 34th, 35th, and 336. And the 334th, 335th, and 336 can trace their lineage back to World War II. The pilots of those squadrons were originally fighter pilots in the Eagle squadrons of the Royal Air Force. And then once the United States entered the war, then we took those pilots and brought them into the Army Air Force.
For people who don't know, what is a fighter wing?
A fighter wing is basically the way the Air Force is structured, is the war-fighting organization. It has squadrons assigned under them.
Randy, so what are some exciting stories or examples of the fighter squadrons that you can tell us?
Well, we're in front of the F-15 Strike Eagle. And an example of applying the latest in technology, we first flew this aircraft in 1988. 2 years later, Saddam attacked Kuwait. And so we found ourselves in Saudi Arabia using the latest in technology. This was the latest fighter aircraft back then. They used this aircraft for the Instant Thunder package. In other words, it was this aircraft that led the way so that we could knock out the important sites in Baghdad so the other aircraft, if you will, that weren't as advanced could fly in after and do more damage. So that would be an example of resourcefulness using the latest technology. But readiness, I want to also point out that we have a bunch of civil engineers, logisticians, and in 2021, recently, just 2 years ago, it was this unit here at Seymore that was asked to go to Holloman Air Force Base in New Mexico to establish a camp for the Afghan refugees. We were bringing the Afghanis that supported us during the war, and so we here at Seymore Johnson was ready at a moment's notice, and in less than 48 hours, we were in New Mexico helping the Afghan refugees.
And what would you say, because this is how E&C came to be, what would you say is kind of one of the biggest impacts that you think Seymore Johnson Air Force Base has had, or something pivotal in history?
I think that its impact and its pivotalness, if you will, if there's such a word, is just the patriotism in which this community can rally around having Seymore Johnson Air Force Base here. I mean, with COVID, we didn't do the open house for a while, but we recently had the open house this year, and it was a huge hit. I think that kind of impact helps having this base here.
Make sure to come back to Hello E&C every week as we uncover how E&C came to be.